Yeah, this is an x-axis reflection. Hello. Sorry. Oh, I zoomed in a lot. Oh well, we're doing it. Okay. It's being weird. X-axis reflection. What does the 1/2 do? It's vertical because it's out in front. It's a shrink by 1/2. It's a shrink because it's a number less than 1. Meaning that it's getting half the size. It's getting shorter. Okay, the +1 makes it go left. The -3 makes it go down. Good. Okay, one more, and then we're going to do the graph. So this one is kind of weird. See if you can figure it out for me. It's quadratic because it has an exponent of 2. Can you list out the 3 transformations? If you're confused on 1/3, we'll talk about it in a second.
On the last one, why did we flip the function?
Because it was vertical, we only flip it when it's inside. So because 1/3 was, or 1/2 was outside in front, we do not flip it. When it's horizontal. All right, what's the negative do? Reflects. Yeah, this is an x-axis reflection. Okay, now we'll deal with the 1/3. This is inside. Is horizontal when it's inside the parentheses. Everything inside is horizontal. Inside is a liar, so you would think it would be a shrink because it's a number less than 1, but it's a liar, so it's actually a stretch by not 1/3, but 3. You would do the reciprocal. That's on the poster up there. It is a reminder. Okay, and then lastly, the +2 at the end makes it go up 2 because it's outside the parentheses. That's your left or right, or that's your up or down. So up 2. We're going to do one, I think, graph.
How would it ever be a horizontal string?
How would you stretch?
No, how would one be a shrink? Not that one.
A shrink if it was a number bigger than 1 inside the parentheses. So if I had like 3,
It's smaller.
so when it's a fraction like this that's less than 1, we do the opposite, so it becomes 3 and ends up being stretched.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I know it's weird. Remember, stretches and shrinks, that's the hardest part. So we're going to do this graph here is put it all together. The first thing you should do on something like this is list out the transformations that you have, and then we'll do order of operations. So that'll matter in a second, but pay attention to that as we do, especially number 24, okay? But we'll try and kind of list them in that order today. Let's see. Remember when I say PF, I asked for the parent function. You could distribute this out, distribute and simplify it, and it would become y equals mx plus b. This is linear. When you do not have an exponent, you don't have bars, it's a linear function. The exponent there is 1. Okay, there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3 transformations. Let's see if you can catch them all. It's like Pokemon. So the 2, the 1, the 4, they all do something different. Okay, when the number is out in front, if you look at the poster, that's what's in green, the A. That is a vertical stretch or shrink. So it's 2, it's bigger than 1. It's a vertical stretch by 2. And I always write too big. That's not variable. Okay. What about the x minus 1? It's inside. It's a liar. You'd think it'd go left. It goes right. Right. 1. And +4 at the end. Plus or minus at the end. Remember, it's always up or down. And so that takes it up 4. All right. Let's see. The next one. Remember, the negative and the 1/2 are separate. Ooh, let's see if you remember. It has bars. What's it called? Absolute value. Good work there. Okay. There are 4 transformations. The negative, the 1/2, the 1, the 3. You can talk to people around you if you want. I know your desks are kind of pulled apart, but you can still speak to each other. So what are the 4? Yes, you can say it. Okay, so it goes down. I'll put that one at the bottom because it's the last one. Down 3. What else we got? Left 1. Okay, the 1/2 is out in front. Someone besides Austin. Since it's less than 1, it's a vertical shrink. Shrink by 1/2, meaning my y values are going to become half the size. And then lastly, you have a negative that reflects it over which axis since it's out in front? X-axis. X-axis reflection. Nice. Okay. This guy is, we'll talk about the parent function squared. Do you remember what it's called? Quadratic. Good work there. Okay. And it has 1, 2, 3. So the negative, the 1/3, and the 2. They all do something. See if you can figure them out. What does the negative cause happen? X-axis. Yeah, when it's a negative out in front, it's an x-axis reflection. When it's inside the expression, it would be a y-axis. Usually we do x-axis reflections. Not super common. We do a y-axis. Okie doke. And then you've got 1/3. So you would think it would be a horizontal shrink. But it's actually a stretch because it's inside of the expression is a liar. So horizontal stretch. I don't feel like writing out all of horizontal. It's not by 1/3. What is it? Do you remember what you have to do? Flip it, do the reciprocal. It becomes by 3. It's weird, I know. Inside's a liar. That's your thing you gotta remember. Okay, and then the +2 at the end, outside is not a liar. It goes up to. Okay, very good. We have this lovely graph that we're gonna do, and so first thing first, you're gonna list out the transformations for me, see if you can find all 4. Leave some space because we're gonna write some points over here. Okay, so up to is the last one. Okay, what are some other ones? X-axis reflection. You're talking so quiet. Okay, x-axis reflection is a negative out in front. I'm trying to do this in order from left to right. Okay, what else we have? It's a vertical. It's a 2 out in front. When it's, you don't have to do the opposite. So it is bigger than 1, so it's stretching. It's becoming 2 times taller. Vertical stretch by 2. You only have to do the opposite when it's in the inside. And lastly, we've got, it's moving left or right? Right 1. Okay, all these things are what's going to happen to this graph here, okay? Here's why I put it in order. Because remember we talked about order of operations. Your multiplication has to come first. These things, you see how it's got a -2 out in front? This guy is multiplication. The other 2 are subtracting and adding. And so order of operations, yes, still matter. So you've got to do this first. These 2 things. The x-axis reflection and the vertical stretch have to come first. And then after you do those things, then you can do left, right, up, down. Because that's going to be adding or subtracting. So just like the other day, or remember yesterday, we jotted down these points. So you'll write down A, B, C, D. Write them down real quick. So A is at, shoot, -2, -2. Because we're going to do some multiplication in a second. We got to actually get the points. B is at 1, 1. And if you can do the multiplication without actually writing down the points, that's fine. But these are notes, so we're trying to make it clear. C is at 3, -1. And D is at 6, 5. Okay. Here's how I like to do this. So because your multiplication has to happen first, when I multiply by a negative, it's going to flip it over to the other side. These things are both, since they're out in front, is it horizontal or vertical? Out in front. That's vertical. So that means you're going to multiply your y values by the -2 because it's a vertical thing. So this right here, technically you could multiply by 2 and then flip it over, it's fine. Like I think on Delta Math you kind of do it in multiple steps, but to save us having a gajillion things on our graph, I'm going to do it all at once. So I'm going to multiply my y values, since it's vertical, by the -2. And that will take care of everything in step 1. That will reflect it over and it will stretch it by 2. So I'm doing the multiplication. So your y value is here. These buddies, you get multiplied by -2. Okay, so let's do that real quick, because that's going to reflect it and stretch it. The x values, remember, stay the same, so a prime is now at -2, +4. B prime would be at 1, -2. So you're multiplying your y values by -2. 3 gets multiplied by -2. No, that stays. This one multiplies by -2. +2. And then d prime becomes 6, comma, -10. Okay, now you have 4 new points that you're going to graph, but hold on a second. Because you haven't done the translation yet, you need to be careful how you do this so you don't think that you're done. So I will put X's to mark the spot, which might be kind of dumb, but I think it's helpful because then I know I'm not done. Because then you have to do the translation and move it, what do we say, right and up. So we're going to do these little 4 points, so -2, 4, and I'm literally going to put an X to mark the spot, like a treasure map. Okay. 1, -2 is where B is moving. So notice it's flipping and it's stretching. 3, 2, so it flips over and it stretches. And D is at 6, -10. So that is unfortunate because it is off the grid, but do your best. It's down here. Okay. You get the idea. Okay, so now you do your translation. And so now you're going to take your points, write 1 up 2, and then you're actually done. So take the X's. Don't go back to the original ones. Take your little X marks the spot, because that was after the stretch. Now write 1 up 2, and it puts me here. This guy goes write 1 up 2, and I'm at 2, 0. Write 1 up 2. And then lastly, write 1 up 2 would take me to -8, which is just barely off the grid. Since it was at -10, I went up 2. It should be right here. So now when you connect it, you should see it's stretched a little bit, and it's 2 times as tall, but also it has shifted. So the one that you see in red, that's my final graph, okay? What do you call it when it has squared? Quadratic. So it's a parent function of a quadratic. Write a new function, g of x, that has been vertically stretched by a factor of 5, reflected over the x-axis, and shifted 2 units left and 3 units down. Whew, okay. You're going to call it g of x. So let's go and write that. We know it's quadratic, which means it needs to have one very important thing. Squared. You got a bunch of stuff happening. You're going to have something in front because you've got the vertical stretch, you have a reflection, and you have something going left and down. So I'm going to leave some space and do squared. I know I've got some spots to fill, okay? Let's start with the stuff that's multiplication. It was vertically stretched by a factor of 5. Does that go inside or outside? So this is vertical.
Outside.
And you can cheat. It's not cheating. You're just looking at your resources. Outside. So the 5 goes here. Because vertical stretch. Stays the same when it's outside. Reflects over the x-axis. How do you make it reflect? A negative. And it's over the x-axis. That's flipping vertically. So -5 out in front, and we know it was shifted 2 units to the left and 3 units down. Inside's a liar, so to make it go left, I have to add 2. And then 3 units down, to make it go down, I do -3. So notice we're calling it g of x because it's a new function. We don't want to call it f of x because f of x is already taken. You just give me new letters. All right, see if you can figure this one out. This is weird, because you've got a horizontal situation. So a new function, g of x, this time it's got bars as an absolute value. horizontally shrunk by a factor of 1/2, shifted up 4 units. That's the only thing that's happening. So nothing in front. Okay. If it's horizontally shrunk by 1/2, when it's inside, you have to do the opposite. So it's 1/2, so flip it. 2. So 2x is the stretch that I have to have in the middle here, not x. Because that's multiplication. Because if I looked at this and I flip it and I get 1/2, and that's how I know it's a stretch, because it's less than 1. Or sorry, a shrink is less than 1. And then it goes up 4, so what I put at the end? Plus 4. Okay, you're doing it.